Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isagami, your resident tinker and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Well, it looks like the collab that a lot of people have been begging for, asking for, and even talking about in passing has finally come to pass. After not one, not two, but 3 separate runs of Rockman Battle Network, it's time we finally get down and dirty with the Rockman series that everybody knows and loves, and that is ROCKMAN X, with everyone's favorite iconic heroes of X and Zero, and everyone's favorite antagonists of Vile and Sigma. As you see here, we have not one but 5 brand new models that will be joining the fray with the introduction of this collab, and each one, just with the first 3 that were introduced alone, are featuring some very powerful skills and a lot of very limited time and very lucrative rewards that I'm more than certain everyone's going to make sure they capitalize on, so they can take home a piece of the ROCKMAN X collaboration that I'm more than certain will rock the entirety of the world, and just goes to show yet again that Imagineer and Medarot certainly know how to make friends in incredibly high places. That being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced, starting of course with the 2 new models of the collab that are going on this week. And starting that lineup, we have RMX-01 Full Armor X with a kit of Shoot Full Charge, Max Shot, Hyper Charge Buster, 5 head legs, and a new leg ability of Darkness, which, much like other ones like High Fly, are basically will buff all of the leg stats by about 30 or so %. At the cost, for Darkness case, it'll take 2.5 times more damage from incoming Optic attribute attacks. So it's already off to an incredibly good start, and a very fitting kit, no less, for everyone's favorite Maverick Hunter here, sporting the ultimate armor that he used in the original X1 game. Alongside him, we are also getting RMX-02 Vava Pride, with a kit of Self-Restore, Power Missile, Hyper Missile, Flight Legs, and the leg ability of Revenger. Now, honestly, as if the references to the older games really couldn't be enough, it seems like Vava Pride really took this to a whole new level. Vile was already a pretty bloodthirsty ex-Maverick Hunter turned Maverick, so to speak, so having a lot of gunpowder-based skills was kind of par for the course and to be expected for him. But to have Self-Restore there and Revenger kind of as a reference to how many times he comes back after being scrapped, it only goes to show that Imagineer really likes to make sure that they tie in as many references and keep as many nods to the original source material as possible. Both these models are going to be the first of 3 waves that'll be taking place through this collaboration. Next week, we'll be seeing Elite Zero as the second wave, and then for the final wave on week 3, we'll be seeing Fixer Sigma. So if neither of these 2 models in particular tickle your fancy, definitely make sure that you save your resources for Zero or Sigma, so that you can take at least one of the gacha models home by the time the event ends, towards the latter end of March. Now, excluding collab stuff for just a minute, we do have a number of rerun models that are also joining the fray this week, and those models in particular are VAL03 Noel with Conceal, Thunder, Guard 500, Biped legs, and the leg ability of All-Rounder. Noel is also capable of transforming into a Thunder Lance type of form, exchanging her kit entirely for Charge Blade, Mobile Boost, Fight Boost, Flight Legs, and the leg ability of B-Loader. Now, she has rerun fairly recently with the introduction of Alba Noel, so if you already have had a chance to pick up on Noel, then you can kindly skip right on past her, or pick her up and bring her up to speed in light from other collab. In addition to her, we also have the rerun of TQN0 May Queen of the Trump Card Quartet, and of the Trump cards, this is the one we have not seen nearly at all, if I'm being completely honest with you. So it is nice to see this model come around again, sporting a kit of Flame, Virus, Hold, Sea Legs, and the leg ability of Elusive. Also capable of transforming into a mace-like form, May Queen can transform and exchange her kit out entirely for Rebirth, Optic Guard, Stat Cleanse, maintain the Sea Legs, but the leg ability of Holy Grace. So actually I take that back, not Sea Legs, Float Legs, I'm so sorry. But still a very powerful and very well-rounded defender all the same. So much like it was with Jackal and even with Ganking to a point, it's going to be a very mixed card kind of fighter in this respect, where you can use her for one form while not changed, and use her for a Rebirth or a Shielder in the other, depending on how you need her. Especially how on sea-based terrain, this is the one that's going to advance the fastest and the easiest. Lastly, we do also have everybody's favorite weapon of mass destruction, WEA-01 God Emperor, with Break, Hyper Missile, Laser, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of Auto Charge. Now we have a very solid lineup here of rerun bots as well, so if the collab models really don't tickle your fancy, still a lot of very well-known and very powerful bots here all the same. But, of course, since we have a collab up and running, I would recommend putting your priority towards them first, and then, of course, these models. For Fierce Battles, it is going to be yet another full deck this week with a full set of 6 Fierce Battles. Starting that lineup here on this top row, we have GLM0 Sekizo with Triple Missile, Tank Legs, and the leg ability of Continuous P. Next to him is CLB02 Side Move with Hammer, Conceal, Guard, Sea Legs, and the leg ability of Explorer. And then we also have TIR0 Attack Tyranno with Fire, Double Hammer, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Straight. On this bottom row here, we have CLA01 Kanahachi Mach 2 with Triple Hold, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of Mariner. We have KBT11 Sagehorn with Triple Sword, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Generator. And then last but not least, MDR0 Dawn Drill with Virus, Double Hammer, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Rumbling. Now, honestly, you really can't tell me that having Dawn Drill here was premeditated, as that's a very obvious reference and nod to Spark Mandrill. And I'm more than certain there are a number of other references here that I've not pointed out. If you do see them, definitely point them out to me in the comments, and we can definitely try to amp up the hype leading up towards the release of this collab. But in terms of the models themselves, lots of very powerful and versatile skills this week that anyone can make use of relatively easily. Sekizo, for instance, as one of the MVPs of the week for Tank Legs with Continuous P, which means that you can kind of comp your already very poor speed with Continuous P to get a passive heat boost the longer that you stay in fight up to 5 turns. So that does kind of comp itself back. Plus, all these AoE skills, Hammer and Missile and so on, that have AoE skills are now suddenly a whole lot more viable thanks to the Silent Leader mechanic that was implemented a number of months ago. Sagehorn, as the other MVP of the week, is also very good for very well-rounded and well-balanced sword attacks that you really can't ever go wrong with using. Now, all 6 of these models are definitely worth farming in one way or another, and honestly, it was kind of hard to crunch it all down to just 1 or 2, but if you did have to focus on 1 or 2 this week as your priorities, it would most certainly be Sekizo and Sagehorn. Now back to the collab and other stuff that is ongoing, we are, much like previous patterns, we do also have 2 SR ranked Medarotters that will be joining the fray for a limited time. Those 2 in particular are Anise, dressed as Iris, and we also have adult version Kirara, dressed as Alia, as 2 very well-known characters and one a navigator from the Mega Man X series. But in particular, what they do, Anise, dressed as Iris, will buff the left arm or drive C damage by plus 600 for every consecutive use, stacking 3 times, which is of course a very staggering attack bonus of plus 1800, but this also only stacks and only works 1 turn. In addition, it will also buff your crit rate by 50%, guaranteeing that if you are going to use that arm after the stacks, it's going to be as immensely painful as possible, no matter which way you look at it. Kirara, on the other hand, dressed as Alien, will instead reduce the CG requirement of any equipped skills by 30% upon activating her skill. And if the Medarot she's equipped to is a male, she will also boost their evade by 50% that additional turn. So we have very powerful skills, and being completely honest, the Medarotters may not be super powerful or super gimmicky at first glance, but it's the passive bonuses, since one of these actually does give a very substantial head heat boost and leg mobility. So say if you were to pair that one off with, as an example, Aim Flash, who has a very solid heat and cool bonus on there, that's a very good opportunity that you can capitalize on. Now again, much like with the collaboration, these will be sticking around until the very end of it when it closes on 3/21 next month. So if you already have collected all the models and you want to go after the Medarotters, don't feel too pressured to go after them, and make sure that you just try to collect them, or at least take a crack at them before the collab ends. Now in terms of event stuff itself around the collaboration, this will be the beginning of the event starting with Wave 1. With this first wave of rewards, we have the opportunity to earn a legendary Eagle medal, which is yet another nod to an enemy, Storm Eagle, I believe, of the original ROCKMAN X games, X1 in particular, with a mastery in shooting, support, and healing, and leg masteries and biped, floating, and flying. So very well-rounded, especially as a Hunter Nature medal, as you see here, that you can use very flexibly no matter how you choose to use it. You also have the opportunity to earn Hunter X at RMX0, who has a kit of full charge, charge buster, shoot boost, biped legs, and the leg ability of, quite fittingly, charge shot. Now, it is honestly really nice that they are bringing back free models through the collaboration, so everybody can go home with at least something, even if they have the worst luck in the gacha banners completely through the course of this next month. Now, much like it was with Full Armor X, Hunter X also is sporting a pretty synergetic kit unto itself, but the stats will kind of leave a little bit to be desired depending on how you choose to use him. Do stay tuned on my channel shortly after this video goes up for my breakdowns on all the models, of course, to kind of give you the pros and cons of how each one ranks. In addition, you also have the opportunity to earn commemorative profile banners, as you see here, for Hunter X and Full Armor X, as well as limited BGMs, including Password and Vava, which was the boss theme for Vile, I believe, in the first ROCKMAN X game. You also have the opportunity to earn more NFRPS chips and other resources, so much like it is with any event in the past, and especially going forward thanks to the 6-star Ascension, these events are most certainly something that you don't want to miss out on, and make sure you capitalize every chance you get on making the most of and collecting every reward you can. Now, the first wave of this event will be a milestone based, which means pure sets are encouraged across the board as you build your teams. As you see here, Full Armor X and Vava Pride will give you that 15% bonus per part. All three of the reruns, God Emperor, Noelle, and May Queen will give you a 10% each. Hunter X, when you do collect all his parts fully capped, will give you a 7% bonus, and the Fierce Battles will give you a 6% bonus per part equipped. For the Medarotters, of course, the SR rank for Anise and Kirara will give you that 10% each. SR rank Arase and Hisaki will give you that 5%, 3% for R rank Anise, Arase, or Hisaki, or 1% for the N rank versions, respectively. Now, minus any collaboration stuff, I think this event might be a little easy as well. I think the gacha banners might be a little heavy since 2 of the 3 reruns in particular are meta change, and gacha banners and rates for those are relatively unforgiving. But because it is a milestone-based event, I feel it will be notably easier to complete though, given that all you have to do really is just grind and just kind of let them do their thing without really having to pay too much attention to bonuses. So as long as you can maintain at least something across the board, you really shouldn't have too much trouble with this one. Now to boost and complement the event, we also have the return of daily missions with the collaboration that give you the opportunity to earn ruby shards and limited time gacha tickets. Now, this will be kind of like the standard spotlight banner tickets that we will see handed out in the past here and there, but instead, these have a little bit more of a kick to them. Instead, these will sport a handful of limited pickup banner models that are normally not available that you have a chance or a crack at to get at least a part or a full set to if you're lucky. So do make sure that you capitalize on earning all these as well through the week so that you don't leave any of these behind and miss out on any rewards. Because even if you run out of rubies, your stack of ruby shards may just be that saving grace to guarantee you that last-ditch pull to get you the model or part that you're looking for. Now, in terms of other stuff, we do also have the release of 4 different BGM packs that were also announced, supporting a number of BGMs from the games Mega Man X1 and X2. All 4 packs are usually about 1,900 yen a piece, or equivalent to about $13 USD. So not overly expensive. Not as majorly required, I guess, if you really don't want to sink any real-life money into this game. But if you do choose to, they are available to you, and you can purchase these to use at any time permanently after. They will be available on the web store, so you can purchase these with pretty much any kind of currency that you can use online. Punch in your user ID and your code, and then they will be sent directly upon completion of the purchase. One final thing, God Emperor at long last is also getting his turn on the tune-up treatment. Not that really everybody's favorite weapon of mass destruction needed the tune-up treatment, but he does now have access to a lot of very powerful bonuses, including boost to his base attack, to pierce damage bonuses, to higher armor, and so on. Do stay tuned as well after this video for my breakdown on his new tune-up bonuses to see which ones rank the highest and the best, and which ones really aren't needed, as well as his new updated score compared to how I ranked him before when I first graded him. On the community front, stepping away from the game stuff for a minute, we are always looking for translators to assist us with any translation endeavors. This includes playtesting and checking for spelling and grammar bugs with Medarot 3, which is tentatively 100% done, as well as putting times towards working on Medarot 4 or 5 or Navi, or if you find yourself interested in cleaning and translating, we would also appreciate some help toward a lot of the Medarot mangas that we'd like to see done. As it stands currently with the mangas, we only have about a volume of the original Medarot 1 manga translated, and about 5 or 6 chapters at best of the Reloaded manga done. So really not a lot. So if you are knowledgeable in coding or cleaning or Japanese, or if you know somebody and have some time on your hands, definitely reach out to us in the link provided to our community Discord and ask around, and we'll get you in touch with the right people to fill you in on what has been done and what still needs done up to this point. Now, for other community stuff, I did announce this last week as well, kind of as a teaser with the release of my new 3.0 model, but to confirm officially, shortly after that video went out, I did make an official announcement in our Discord. We will be hosting, as the Project Rising Beetle community, Medarot S PvP tournaments going forward, with our first one starting on the 4th of March in about 2 weeks. Roughly thereabout. Now, these events will probably follow a lot of rules that a lot of the Japanese communities and tourneys tend to do. So certain modifiers like certain parts are not allowed, or certain Medarotters, pure sets or no pure sets, and so on. So for this first one in particular, as you see here, certain parts are banned, such as cross shock and disturbance. Full charge and charge plan are not allowed on the same team if you have them, and of course anyone that is using super armor. Pure sets, don't need them. If you want to go after them, it's completely up to you. No bans Medarotters, so go nuts with that. Match type will be Flood, which means that all the parts and your meta levels will be equalized, so everybody will be on the same playing field no matter how high you are, how skilled you are, or how new you are. And of course, the terrain will be on Cyber. I did include a PDF in our FAQ channel with the tourney rules, and because this is the first official tourney, I don't believe we're going to be offering any kind of reward for this one for a top place and runners up, just to kind of make sure that this rule set actually works, and just to make sure everything's behaving as it should. But if it does work out, like I'm hoping and intending that it will, Future tournaments will offer rewards such as ruby top-ups and bundles to be paid for by the judges as a reward to be topped up on your Medarot S account. This can include BGM packs, DX ticket bundles, and ruby packs to kind of top you up and keep you at the top of your game with that. Or, if you don't play or don't really want to use money toward it, a monetary equivalent also can be provided at discretion. Again, this first tournament will be going live and beginning on the 4th of March, so if you do plan to participate in that or look into the rule set, join our Discord in the link provided below and we can fill you in and answer any questions you may have. One other thing to mention, I posted the first video of my Robattle Studies Tutorial 102 yesterday, starting with how to ascend parts and what goes into it, especially since we had a lot of rule changes on how that behaves, first leveling, and of course the 6-star ascension. So I do plan on releasing more of these as time goes on, just to kind of catch up with what was already behind, since my Robattles 101 is kind of, how do I put this nicely, out of date by about 2 years at least. So I do want to try to make sure I'm up to date with that with any of my new subscribers or followers that are just starting to learn how to play the game and don't want to rely on old information and be possibly led astray or be outdated. So there will be a new playlist for the 102 tutorial on my channel, and as I replace the 101s, I will slowly close that playlist out until all of them are done and I can officially just delete the playlist and be done with it. So do stay tuned for that and keep an eye out on my channel as I post these. And if you have any suggestions for anything that you'd like to see added to this curriculum, or anything that you'd like to see me do sooner than later, reach out to me in those DMs and on Discord, on Twitter, or even in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do on getting those pumped out faster than others. Now, with the weekly art highlights here on the MNN, I had to highlight this piece by my buddy Pikugatu, highlighting the lesser-known ninja type of that particular franchise line. Sporting back from the days of Medarot Navi, it is the legendary Sand Ninja. Now, at first glance, another ninja type may not be super impressive at first glance, but it's what he does with his meta change that really makes him stand out. And it's the fact that he doesn't transform, he doesn't gain an extra ability or an extra alternative mode or anything. Instead, he basically plays Clone no Jutsu and summons 2 familiars to fight with him in tandem as long as he maintains that form and that battle stance. So he's been very well loved for that very reason, and I would love to see that translated in Medarot S at some point if they do choose to bring him back in the future. And this piece here by Koopochifu, who also was the designer for Kairen KWG-14, the futuristic stag beetle type, designing their take on what would be a KWG-13, which right now as it stands is the only model in that family that we're missing, because right now Torito Beetle at KBT-13 is kind of standing on his own. My personal thoughts on this is I'm kind of torn between the idea of having a small chibi type, much like Torito Beetle, as the counterpart, or if instead I'd like to see a very large and gargantuan type of design to kind of serve as a dynamic contrast. But what do you guys think about that? Answer in the comments below and see what you think. And if you have any art or takes that you want to see, post them in our Discord or tag me on Twitter with them and we can try to highlight them and see what happens. One final closing thought, I am always open for commission as well. As a friendly reminder, I do live 2D capable models ready to rig, I do 3D models fully rigged, textured, and ready to go. I can do standard art and emotes as you see here, also at very affordable prices. So if you are looking for new art or fresh art, or if you're brand new and looking for some assets without breaking bank, definitely reach out to me on Discord or Twitter, and we can most certainly make something happen with that. But with all that being said, I do believe that covers everything for the first wave of the ROCKMAN X collaboration event that will be going on this next 3 weeks. So if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabots Forever community on there as well, which has now grown to a staggering 9,000 members and still growing. I'm honestly shocked how fast that community is growing, and I'm super, super proud of it as well. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided in the comments below, and this will allow you to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new merchandise, fan art, contest, tournaments, my weekly episodes, or anything else of the like. That's the first place you're going to hear any news before it goes anywhere else across the net. You can also reach out to me personally on Twitter at ItsuGamiKura. If you have any questions or feedback or comments, or would love to stop in and say hello, I leave my DMs open on purpose for that very reason. If you are also a content creator, streamer, or YouTuber and would love to collaborate sometime, whether that means having you here on my channel as a guest host, of which there is always a seat at the desk, or if you'd like to have me stop in on your channel for a friendly game or a chat, I would absolutely love to coordinate with you. So definitely reach out to me as well, and we can most certainly make something happen. Lastly, do give these wonderful followers and friends of mine a follow as well on Twitter. Twitter user ProtoDude, who does a lot of the main blog stuff for the ROCKMAN series across Twitter and their blog site. Of course, they are highlighting on the collaboration news, much like I am as well. So if you'd like to support them and their endeavor for what they do, definitely give them a follow as well. And of course, I do have to highlight my friend Callie here as well at Eru4, who just recently celebrated having a break of over 4,000 followers on Twitter. They've been in the content creating business a whole lot longer than I have, and I have to say I am super proud of and very happy for you, Callie, if you do find yourself on my channel every here and there. Wonderful work to what you do. Congratulations on the 4K members, and here's to a bright future going forward. But with all that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping by, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.